Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 96, and today we're going to be doing battle with the Obedient Drakehound deck. And so, yeah, here over the past few days, I've kind of done a re-walk through the World Walker set, see if there was anything that we missed, anything that needs a bit of attention before the big balance patch comes out here in about a week. And the Obedient Drakehound was the unit that immediately struck me as kind of appealing, and then we just never messed with. And I'm not entirely sure what the deal with the Drakehound is. I love it, as you can imagine, someone that loves to attack with a Legion rearguard, seeing a unit like this that can attack multiple times and has a big front end, it just has a lot of appeal to me. But it hasn't seen much activity in the competitive ladder scene. Now, whether or not that's a function of there being a bunch of things like Vile Feasts running around in the Viego decks, or the Flashbang traps out of the Caitlyn decks, or the AoEs out of all of the Freylord based decks. I don't know. Maybe it's just a bad card. Maybe that's what it is as well. But it hasn't seen much play, and I'm looking to take advantage of this. And so, your first kind of question you're going to ask yourself when you play the Drakehound is, how do I get multiple attacks in the same turn, right? I want to attack with this thing multiple times. I got my normal attack in, great. How do I get an additional attack in? And so that gets you to looking to something like Scouts. It gets you to looking to something like Rallies, or it looks you to getting to something like Free Attacks. Now, Rallies don't completely count since they kind of reset the attack on your Drakehound anyways, but the same idea kind of applies. We're looking to be attacking multiple times in the same turn, and finding ways to get this Drakehound in multiple times. And then so the way that was most appealing to me is through Cataclysm. Cataclysm has seen a lot of play these days, but in very specific decks. And so the big thing that we see with Cataclysm is it's always paired off with the gigantic Overwhelm units. And so we're looking at, say, like the classic Yuumi Pantheon here. In more recent times, we're seeing the Alawi Rally style decks play with the Cataclysm. And how can we take advantage of that here? And so the big commonality between all of that is with the overwhelms, and so we can do that. We can make that work, right? We can play this Noxus Demacia deck. We can get some overwhelms. We can get the cataclysms, and then the way to get those big overwhelms is looking towards Riven. And so Riven is kind of doubly interesting to me as well in this, in that we have a couple of angles of attack here, right? We can load something up with the Riven sword. Say we're just playing straightforward, we're flipping Riven, putting the sword onto Riven. That gives us a fantastic target for Cataclysm, right? But if things go a little bit differently, we can still realistically say, like, hey, let's put the Riven sword onto the Obedient Drakehound, and then come up with a way to get multiple attacks in the same turn. And so we have additional angles of attack that way. And then kind of looking at the Fizz Riven decks that are running around quite a bit these days, you get access to things like Ruined Reckoner, which is also pulling double duty in that it gets the Midnight Raid. You can Midnight Raid something else, and then get additional attacks with the Drakehound. And so I'm really kind of interested in all of this kind of cyclical sets of synergies that we have coming about here between using the big overwhelm style Fizz Riven stuff, pairing that off with the cataclysms, but then also getting multiple attacks in the same turn. And then if we're looking to get multiple attacks in the same turn, we can kind of cycle that back into the Obedient Drakehound. It all sounds pretty cool and interesting to me. And so that is the core, the shell of the deck. The only other things to really call out here is we do have this big challengers package in the early game. We have the Fleet Feather Trackers. We're playing the Blinding Assault since it has Scout and comes in for the early game challenges. And then everyone's favorite unit here with the Petricite Broadwing. The bonus to playing all of these cards is it does come in and allow the Brightsteel Protector to give us a lot of either early game challenges. Lets us kind of set up these turns to where we have a Drakehound on the board, but we need to attack with other stuff, and we need to protect the other stuff. It just has a lot of good synergies running about within the deck. And so with that being that, let's go ahead. Let's get ourselves out here into the pay-to-win phase of the video, and we got a great target for that. The Obedient Drakehound hasn't been turned premium yet. More than happy to give him the treatment, and that's going to get us ready to go, ready for battle. Hype ready to get him in here. We're just going to do battle in the normals today. I think that's going to be completely fine and fun. But let's get in here. Let's see if we can't do something cool. Just spew off these big Drakehound hits right here early on and in the beginning. All right. Well, that's not a very compelling start. We're looking for those 1s and the 2 drops in the Rivens, right? We're looking for these draws to where we can either get a Drakehound down and do a bunch of attacking, or we want to get a big Reforge draw. Looks like the Reforges are starting to come at us. All right, Bard, Poppy, and Jarvan. Getting us, booming us good with that banner maker. All right, so do we want to just kind of like push in on the Riven plan? It's like we can get this value hit onto the Penitent Squire. I guess that's going to be reasonable enough. I don't know. That's not attacking enough. I don't like how that feels, but it definitely feels much better after he drops Bird, letting us get the 2-for-1 with the Broadwing. If we hit lots of kind of options with the next turn as well. If we hit a quick attack fragment, we can get a quick attack challenge off of the Broadwing. Ooh, there's the Drakehound. We can let the party start. We can look to drop the Drakehound this turn and then play a Ruined Reckoner next turn, but that's a little bit too all-in-y. He's starting to contest our board. I think we need to get Riven down, and then we can look to get the Drakehound down in a little bit of time. This is looking more like a Riven Sword onto Riven onto Ruined Reckoner style game, more so than the Drakehound style things. Need a quick attack in here for Riven, though. We hit Overwhelm on the first one. Runeweaver hits quick attack, so we should be able to attack this turn. We can go ahead and get the Drakehound down. It's a question of like how hard do we want to go here. Opponent just passes. That's always scary. You do have to kind of like watch yourselves. We do have big plays here, right? We can put the +3 attack on the Drakehound. We can give it Overwhelm. And then if we have a way to attack twice, say like with a Ruined Reckoner, we have gigantic potential to slam in a bunch of damage. But again, that's something that we're kind of like building up to. I don't want to just spew that off right now. He brings in Poppy. Okay. We'll see if they want to get involved in combat. If he wants to put Poppy in front of the Runeweaver, we have the Elixir of Wrath ready to go. Okay. Always nice to clear off some board before he makes a Poppy attack. Okay. So if we're going to go for a sword turn next turn, like, do we have the ability to play this Fleet Feather Tracker? I don't think that's really going to be on our radar here. I think I want to bank up the mana as much as we can. We want to have 8 mana next turn, right? So that we can load up Riven with the sword and then get multiple attacks with the Ruined Reckoner. Curious what their interactivity package is going to be. Not worried about them just putting these stats on the board. We can attack a million times over the next few turns and not worry too much about that. But I'm a little worried about something like a concerted strike coming down. That's not a rally. I did the mathematics on that one, and so let's get to it. Let's get to it. Well, do we have to actually deal with Poppy here? I guess that's a reasonable question. We can get Riven up to 5, but then Poppy can just kind of abuse the Drakehound if she wants. I think we're going to have to pivot a little bit here and just go for the Blinding Assault. We can get 3 attacks this turn this way, though. We're going to drop the bird. I'm going to give the bird quick attack. I'm going to give the Drakehound the bonus attack. And he's unfortunately just going to... Well, if he's just going to put Poppy in front of the Drakehound, there's no reason to boost it, right? Okay, let's give the bird a little bit of protection here. He only has 2 cards at this point, so I'm not, like, ultra worried about it, but I think we have to be at least a little worried about some kind of combat trick coming out. I don't want my entire turn to get aced by a sharp sight. Interesting there's no Poppy block.
Every fighter falls.
This attack good? Not really. Just get Valor in again.
Sure you want to do this?
There comes the Poppy attack, or the Poppy block. Okay, and then I believe we have to stop there. Well, we can make a free attack on this board. We can see if he wants to just throw Poppy in front of something. I think this is okay. We're getting built to this, like, Golden Aegeus Riven Sword turn. So, oh, excellent. I think it's like if we get to wear down the health on Poppy, then we'll still be fairly okay. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to Golden Aegeus onto Riven. I want to be able to block and get involved in combat this turn without having to worry about her. It's just out of sequence to go for the sword first. Didn't get the opportunity. Looks like he's coming in for 17, so we have to make some blocks here, but the important thing at the end of the day is we'll still have our Riven. Yeah, he has so much health on these dum-dums. Okay. We got the potential. If he's got a Golden Aegeus, we'll just lose, but we still have some potential to take this one down. Okay. The shattered hearts mend in time. Alright, Riven, battle time. Gotta block with something. Bird. Okay. Then looks like we're fairly close to just an open lethal next turn. We have enough mana to just play everything, so I'll go ahead and drop a Fleet Feather Tracker. But if we pick up like a Might or something, you know, we could still play it with the Riven. So if we take her up to 12 attack with the Fragment, oh, we picked up a Rally. Even with 12 attack, we should just win the game. There's no units that should get him out of this. No, he's picking up a bunch of health, though. Poppy went up to 8. Still good enough. GG. Man, that was so close to so many so many cool plays with that Drakehound, but the The barrier just kind of shut everything down. Like getting the triple attacks in with him, like the options to give him overwhelm and the big attacks. Yeah. So sweet. So sweet. Barriers just out here ruining our day. Not sure what we're running into here. We've got the Demacia PNZ, but no champions. Well, I'm not sure what no champion shenanigans are all running around these days. We used to see reasonable amounts of stuff like the transposition deck, transdisposition, whatever that thing was called, but doesn't really turn up anymore since they nerfed it. Not sure whatever else the removal choices would be. But Drakehound doesn't get immediately boomed. That's kind of nice. See if he's got a Mystic Shot or something coming in. All right, well, I'll just take a single attack this turn. We have the opportunity to double attack into this Dauntless Vanguard, right? We can swing with Valor and then get a second attack, but feels like we're even just like pretty open to getting 2 for 1 here. Stick shot. So lame, so lame. Out here trying to do the cool stuff, playing into removal spells. Where's more Bard decks, right? Let's play against more Bard. The king of interactivity. Like all these blinding assaults, I'm ultimately fairly worried about stuff like static shocks now. I have no idea what this guy's trying to do. Production surge. Okay. See if we can't pick up a quick attack for the bird. +2 attacks, not it. Overwhelm, not it. Might as well get something in. It feels like he's gonna be up to some kind of shenanigan again, but we're still building up to something. I mean, maybe we shouldn't have gotten Riven involved in this combat since she's so close to flipping. But I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss at what's coming out of this deck. Maybe we should have just built up to a big Riven OTK. Sure. We can do cool stuff next turn, though. I mean, we have the Golden Aegis. We have decent fragments. We might find ourselves making a play this turn. Oh, a Drakehound. Okay. Let's get that party started. +2 attack overwhelm are pretty decent on the Drakehound this turn. So it's like if we want to play Drakehound, the 2 fragments, and then a Golden Aegis. How bad is this? A 9/9 do nothing? Okay. Let's see if he attacks. Like, that's where this gets interesting, right? If he attacks and then we get to put the 3 damage on it with Runeweaver, that's pretty good, because then our Drakehound shuts down all this stuff he's trying to do. Okay. Okay. Get ready for the action. Okay, let's take down this little guy first. Then we can switch to hooking the Vanguard with the Petricite Broadwing if we want. Come in for 8. The next turn we have an open with Valor. Hopefully punch in the lethal with Drakehound. He's already played 2 Mystic Shots. I mean, it's possible to have other removal spells, but Yeah, do we need to get these other scouts down? It's so dangerous to let him have a shot at playing a like a slow spell, like a shockwave or something. And so I think with this space, like we can make the attack, try to get them to commit mana, and then if they have some kind of way to interact, we could have replayed our Challenger birds in hand, and then tried to come in with a Elixir of Wrath kill. But I'm glad you got the chance to shine their Drakehound. I definitely approve. Okay, Hecarim Zed. Looks like a start. I'm a little bit worried about not having very much interactivity against the Zed deck. They're gonna really just like spew off a ton of damage at us right here in the early game. And it's usually just a matter of like coming down and blocking that kind of stuff. And so this is probably a matchup where we don't really want the Drakehound. But it's what we're doing, so we're gonna keep it. Let's get him. He's not hunting one of these Drakehounds, is he? What's going on? Is that what this thing here in the back is? It's got some kind of like weird dog with a saddle on it. I guess that's more of like a dinosaur looking thing. This thing up here in the front's more like a dog. This thing on the left, I don't know what that is. Some kind of animal. What you got? There's definitely, I wouldn't call that a saddle. That's a breastplate with straps on it. Aye, Drakehound. Oh, he makes a no play. Really, I really just want to go for it. All right. Wonder if he's going to try and just get us with a Vile Feast or something. It's very weird to have a no play here, but outside of like Vile Feast, there's not anything I'm super worried about. Lame. What a lame ass. I knew it. I knew people were going to be like that. Mark it. Mark it in your notebook. Lame ass of the day. Soy mid. You're about to do some cool stuff. He said, no thank you. No fun for you. Alright, well we need to start getting fragments. I'm going to get the Riven down. We have this like double Elixir of Wrath Cataclysm hand, and so we don't even need to go like towards the sword. We just need to hit the Overwhelm, which we did there. So we could come in like at the moment for 9 Overwhelm with the Cataclysm. Of course, not doing it this turn, but lots of OTK potential with what we have in hand.
No more hesitation.
When I'm summoned, or if you have the attack token. Okay, as I was trying to decide if we were going to get fragments off of a Cataclysm attack from Riven. Doesn't sound like that's how it works. You don't get an attack token for doing Cataclysm. You do get it with scout attacks, though. When you gain an attack token. Okay. Incoming ephemerals. That Shark Chariot wasn't doing any blocking, but he might be ready for action next turn. These things are fucking annoying. At least he's not gaining too much health. This will be a little bit scarier next turn. Do we want to block it, though, and just go for the sword? Right? We'll get the fragment off of the Squire. I think that's probably the way to go about it. The only downside is we're a little short of lethal. Oh, fuck. We can't have the Scourge survive. Man, so many cool plays just going right down the drain. I guess we can still try and make these Cataclysm overwhelms. That's what it's all about right there. That's what it's about. Answer my Riven? Nah, man, not today. Not today. I'm leaning towards like this is like such an awkward turn to build the sword because we can't get the double bonus onto Riven. So we'll only get like a single bonus next turn off of an Elixir of Wrath. Will we have 7 mana next turn? Which would be Cataclysm, all 3 fragments. We can't Elixir of Wrath that way. Alright.
Violence to end violence.
Okay, sad noise. This is going to be our big turn, right? We'll get the flip, the elixir, the cataclysm. When you're looking to sequence this, you're going to want to put. We're going to generate. Is that scary? I don't think that's scary. Watch this. Watch this, fam. Overwhelm. Quick attack. That's going to get the flip. Now we're going to play the Elixir of Wrath. That's going to get Riven plus 6 attack. And then we're going to Cataclysm. Go ahead and take this Hecarim out of here. You know, it would be nice if we could have gotten the lethal off of this, but taking down his giant unit, getting in a couple points of overwhelm damage, not that bad. Not that bad. Says, oh shit, bust. Where's my Nopify? Where is my Nopify? Did we just get a toilet phone? Is that what happened? Does he say, this isn't how I'm spending my break at work? Let me drop that phone right in the toilet. All right, well, if we're dealing with that, oh, you just slow playing, thinking real hard on the upcoming outcomes. Did we just open on him next turn? Probably. We have the options to get this Blinding Assault going, but we'll probably just look to open. +2 attack. It just feels so dangerous. I don't like it. Like, if we make this attack and he has a Vengeance and he gets to build up a little board, then we have some serious problems. And so we do have to worry a little bit about stuff like another Darkwater Scourge, which we can now answer with the Valor, but it's a little scary seeing those kind of options. Now we can hook the Scourge just like way out to the right, and we don't care as much about it. If he has more interactivity, it's not as big of a deal. See how much mana he spends here. We do have the options to say like Riven Sword +2 attack our Valor, and then quick attack challenge down the Darkwater Scourge. That feels like a very risky play. My concern now would be something like a unit plus a Homecoming. That's slightly problematic, but I think we're still in a pretty good space here. So if we hook Dum Dum out to the right, put the +2 attack onto Riven, that's going to take her up to an 8. She's going to get Vengeanced, and then we're still lethal. We do have the opportunity to play some more cards, though. Do we just go for the bird? Well, if we try to make the play onto the bird, we can't get enough Riven damage in. Right, so like this, we're coming at him from lethal from 2 angles. He has to have both the answer to Riven, and then he has to have the answer to another dude. And so he could have another Vile Feast or something, but gets us a makes him have to have a lot. Don't think that's the lot you were looking for. All right, GG. All right, so this was interesting. You know, we made it all through COVID. Nobody in my immediate family picked up the COVID until this week. We had a family member inside the home turn up positive. It's like get through the whole thing and kind of forget about it, and then now that it kind of like circles back around, it's finally come at us. I'm not like they're doing fine. They aren't. Their symptoms are very mild. Everyone in the house is all vaccinated, and so hopefully it's just a non-issue. But it's so wild to have it be like such a major part of your life for 2.5 years, and then no one like I had a handful of like friends that picked up the COVID. None of my like direct, really close friends picked it up, and then none of my direct and close family members picked it up. But it's pretty lucky to make it so far. You know, my stance on it was I always kind of felt like, you know, it's something that everybody's going to get, but if you have to be the first person to get it, or if you have to be person like 10 million now or whatever it is in the United States, it's got to be way over 10 million. I think like they're pushing a million people now that have died. But you know, if you're going to have to be number 1 or number 10 million to get it, you want to be number 10 million. You give them a chance to figure out how it works and everything. And so I feel at least pretty lucky in those terms, being pretty far down the road. But I took a test this morning and nothing came up, and then I'll take another one tomorrow and see if anything pops up, and hopefully we're just in the clear.
When will I find peace?
Hopefully we're in the clear. This is kind of tough. We might want to just wait until next turn. Like, what units is he gonna? Of course, the concern here is, right, we attack with Riven. He blocks. She has 2 damage on her, and then he gets to challenge her down next turn. But there's like a large collection of units that just take a value attack onto Riven anyways. And so, like, if his play now is like a Lowy, then we're kind of fine. We have the Elixir of Wrath. But there were, a lot of options here that were potentially painful. Now that we picked up the second Riven, we'll just let them do whatever they want and replay Riven. If he passes it back, that actually seems pretty decent to me. All right, we need a quick attack fragment. Then we'll go ham. But this is did we hit it? Oh, +2 attack. Oh man, we hit the 3rd Drakehound. It's like, what can we do with these Valors, right? We got the blinding assault. We have to maximize here. Says bust up to shenanigans. Concerted strike. That's kind of lame. We're the ones out here trying to have fun. Alright, well, I'll +2 attack fragment the bird to take down the Broadwing, but without the quick attack, we don't have a way to get multiple attacks in this turn. Can get a massive set of attacks in next turn, though, with the Ruined Reckoner plus the Drakehound. This is going to be sweet. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this is it. Play something expensive that doesn't matter. Single combat. Alright. Just make a noise, I guess. Into Radiant. Oh, fuck. Okay. It's like... we probably just have to bank the mana here. He can gain on this turn, but we need to get a big play with this Elixir of Wrath or something. Damn it. Who plays this? Who plays this shit? This is like our gauntlet lineups from 3 months ago. just fitting in the Radiant Guardians. All right. Let's see what we can do. Nagakaboro surrounds us. Alright, let's see what he does. That could be good. Let's stop there. We're not going to get a lethal this... well, we're close. I'm worried about something like a sharp sight here. Let's just pass. We still got some lethal potentials.
Today we turn the tide of war.
He has to block, I think. Well, he's just gonna put his unit. Oh no, we should have overwhelmed our Drakehound. Fuck. We had the overwhelm fragment. We could have punched them for 4, 8, 9, 10, 13. We could have lethaled this, so I blocked wrong anyways. Okay. Alright. If that's gonna be the case, mark it a W for bust. Sweet. Nice little set of victories. The Drakehound's coming through. That was so much potential for big shit there, but people playing their interactivity. You're supposed to be like No Rush 15. That's what you always said when you were playing StarCraft Brood War, and you were getting in the custom games that had just like infinite minerals on them. You would say No Rush 15, so everyone had the time to build all their bases and get up to a 200 army and then just battle each other. That's what you're saying. No Rush 15, man. You gotta let me. You gotta let me build up my combos. All right, this attack's not quite worth it. We'll get a Broadwing down here in just a moment.
Words of power linger in the air.
I would like to block. If we get to go into next turn, that would be even better. We get the choice, the chance to hit a quick attack with the Runeweaver. Sweet. I'm a little worried about him just dropping Zeds on us, but one thing at a time. He has Riven. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Drop that Twisted Fate. Rainbow deck, bruh. So it doesn't feel like we're in a great spot. We need, like, I feel kind of good that we have this Jarvan in our hand, but I'm a little worried about what's going on here. Blade's Edge, okay. Got to stop and check if they're playing Annie. They're not. Can we? I haven't done this interaction before. Next turn, can we Cataclysm Jarvan into play? We're about to find out. When you attack, that counts as an attack. So this sounds like it should work. Surprised we haven't had that come up before. Kato time. I do love me a good Kato the Arm. It's one of these cards that was like so ridiculous in Expedition, but it never really got its footing in Constructed. There had been some like various decks with like Horns of the Dragon and Lee Sin's and stuff, but he's never had his chance to shine. It's like these cards don't get it anymore when there's no limited format running around. Speaking of Horns of the Dragon. Yeah, that looks pretty good, right? That looks pretty good. Emote. There it is. There it is. That's the good stuff right there. Oh, man, just in time. Just in time. Oh, man, I love it. Come on. We had the Cataclysms, we had the Overwhelm, we had the Elixir of Wrath. Oh, shit was about to get choice. Oh, man. Whew. The Senna and Aurelian Soul. Alright. I'm ready. Get the Reforged crew happening. What up, Drakehound? I suspect this is going to be one of those dirty, vile feast players, and so I'm gonna take it a little slow with the Drakehound. We'll take this this Riven start and see if we can't bait out some of the removal before we try to go big with the Drakehound. Path of Discovery. Are we about to see a Targon's Peak?
When will I find peace?
Seems like we might. But all right, lots of options for the turn. We'll start with the Fleet Feather Tracker. I'm going to get the Drakehound down. Then we'll use that as a means to decide what fragment we want to play. This is going to be a fucking people, am I right? Fucking people. Do we want more fragments? I mean, probably. He gets to trade the Spiderling for the Blade Squire. What's the damage on Riven? Are there any 3 damage options? Nothing's coming to mind. Not from these factions. It's prevented the damage. There's the Targon's Peak. So, like, we're definitely getting Jarvan down next turn. I think we just go ahead and play the Bright Steel. He's not going to do anything. It is a bit... Well, can we, like, lethal on this open? We hook a bird with our bird. Jarvan hooks the other one. And then we... Oh, we hit Cataclysm on the Targon's Peak? Maybe. So we come in. Jarvan goes in on the Prey. Now, the thing we need to do is... Okay, he has Vengeance. I was like, the thing we need to do is drop Might onto Jarvan. And then he gets the big Overwhelm attack in. Now that he has the Vengeance, that's not possible. Can we still, like, do anything with Cataclysm this turn, though? I don't think so. Very unlikely opponent can do something for 1 mana. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's that's a thing. Well then, what can we do now? It's like, do we want to just drop Jarvan? I'd kind of like to get him on the cheap, but I wonder if that's just too greedy to go for. Probably too greedy. I think we'll drop him, and then next turn we're gonna look to like play a might and overwhelm or might and cataclysm type plays to try and punch this lethal in. Well, we got all the cataclysms one could need. The bird is just like the worst unit possible here. Like, we can give it a bunch of attack, but it's still just going to be striking with its toughness. It's like, I don't entirely want to take this unit off of the board, given that we can Cataclysm into it. So it gives us options to punch in attacks on our next turn. Drakehound? Alright. That's always the solution. Lame. People these days, man. Something cool. Blinding Assault. Alright. This is this is our answer. This is our answer. Okay, a soul comes in. How close are we? Oh, that was the sword. We don't need more quick attacks. We're like 1 damage short. Fuck. Ooh. Opponent just lost the game and they didn't even know it. Ooh. Cupcake. Nice. GG. Market a W for bust. Oh, man. Don't feel like we deserved that one. But we emoted it well. I think we used the right emotes at exactly the right time. And that was what really pushed it over the edge. All right, reasonable enough start against Annie Elise. They do have like some opportunities to just like punch way ahead of us on board. Like if they get a big Elise rolling, this isn't a great draw against her, but things picked up a little bit. I'm always interested in having these blinding assaults against Annie, though. Can't wait for this dude to be like, herder, here's a vile feast. It's what they're always saying, isn't it? Go hard. I think I hate that more. I was just opening ourselves up for the opportunity to win with our Drakehounds. You know, the namesake of our deck needs a little bit of time in the sun. So I feel okay about it now.
I know what lurks in the shadows. I've got your back.
You still want to attack? No?
To serve the greater good.
And he's up to 2. That seems like good as time as any to drop a Drakehound. I mean, I would feel a little bit better about it next turn. Oh my god, he's gonna have another Vile Feast, isn't he?
Finally,
Fucking lamos. Fucking lamos, am I right? Withering Whale. Ugh. People. I can already tell you what Baudelaire is doing on this Friday night. He's gonna go to Kroger, cash in his paycheck, get that big old slice of money, go somewhere, buy an exquisite chessboard, and then he's just gonna play chess by himself at home. That's it. No friends, no old men at the park, nobody at the local chess club. Just gonna play chess by himself. The way a true gentleman does it. I'm just gonna sit here and play chess by myself. A very interactive game. Lots of people get to play it. All right, let's see what happens here. We have like a bit of potential to OTK. We might have just advertised that we're trying to do it by putting down the Reckoner, but we can sword up this turn and get a follow-up attack in. I'm fairly convinced that this is just going to get hit by a Vengeance or something, but I think this is probably the time to just go all in. So let's see. Quick attack. Put on a unit. Overwhelm. Put on a unit. +2 attack. Put on the Reckoner. Blade of the Exile. Onto the Reckoner. He's going to get up to, it looks like 11 attack. 8 + 3 with the Elixir of Wrath. Don't even need to see what they are. Yep. What did I tell you? Friday night by himself. Hey man, wouldn't you like to play with a friend? Maybe make a friend? Have a nice convo with that old man at the park? No man, I'm just gonna play by myself because I like control decks. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Our last battle, game number 8, is upon us. You can't talk trash about the Nami decks. It'll probably be a load of no fun, but I'm curious what amount of removal they play. I can't remember seeing the lists running around if they play Make It Rains. Like, we of course have to worry a fair amount about Twisted Fates, but I don't think that they have tons of interactivity. Don't think they have a ton. What we got? +2 attack. The magic's coming together. Drakehound. It begins. May not get things going this turn. It's like when you have these big golden Aegis draws, you get a bit of incentive to kind of just go wide and build up a big board. But we don't have too much else going on. I guess like they always have so many options with these decks as to whether or not they just go for, like, they usually get a full board and try to go wide on stuff, right? But then they get the Nami down. Yeah. I was like, where does Parlay come from? Is the Coral Creatures? I don't know who to be more pissed off at. If it's the Coral Creatures or such a sad day. Sad day for the Drakehound. Alright, let's see if we can't build up a big OTK. We need like another fragment, and then we can start to do big things. Do we want to start any of that now? I mean, we can say like Might Riven and then hit her with a Ruined Reckoner. Try and pick up a sword next turn. Does Cataclysm let us pick up a sword? It's when you gain the attack token. So we would have to like rally to pick one up. I was trying to think if like we could attack with Cataclysm while we have the token, and then pick up a fragment that way.
There's still much to answer for.
It's like, I think the big thing here is just not giving up on the Cataclysm. Let's just send in Riven. I think this gives us an opportunity to where, like, we'll get to see what they do. We can Might through the blocker and then play Ruined Reckoner. And then we may not, well, we won't have the mana to drop a Cataclysm then, but it's our answer to Nami. The big thing to watch out for. That's a juicy tentacle.
I serve a nobler cause.
All right. Get that coral creature off the board, I guess. We're still building up to some stuff. Still building it up. We'll get our third token next turn off of this rally with the Golden Aegis. Things are starting to happen. Oh, they overdrew Twisted Fate. We don't have our 1 health units anyways, but very important to note. Now, I'm not sure what their interactivity package looks like. I don't... I mean, I think Riven's safe here. Like, from Shadow Isles, I guess they could have a Vengeance. If they have a Vengeance, we're probably just dead. But got to get this Nami dealt with as soon as we can. Okay. Oh, that just counters the Cataclysm? That's stupid. What a dumb game this is. Who invented this game? So dumb. I guess at least we got rid of the Nami. We thought we got rid of the Nami. Okay, a little scary, It's considering if we needed a Bright Steel, because if he attacks with the Nami, we don't have good blocks on her. Well, I guess we can just take the giant hit from the tentacle, but a little scary. All right. Let's see what that sword can do. Got a few attacks ready with it. We should probably just go ahead and play the Fleet Feather and the Bright Steel and the Golden Aegis again this turn. Uh-oh. Alright. Alright, that's gonna do it. That one probably comes down a lot to my unfamiliarity with the matchup. We had the like, I don't know if I would have ever just preemptively protected our Riven there. That seems like a little bit out of the way. Like I was considering like swinging back around to it and then doing a the barrier onto the bird so we could get multiple attacks out of it that way. But the tentacle slam's a little off my radar. I remember seeing the tentacle slam coming out of the Nami decks and being like, oh, finally! It's like I've been waiting for a day to where tentacle slam just gets played in a deck that isn't an Alawi deck, and that's the one that's finally put it together. But we didn't get to. I haven't gotten too much experience against that, and I don't really like playing that deck, and so things are a little slow for me there. But nonetheless, a pretty good set of games. I had a fun collection of games with those. I had a really good time playing this deck today, and I'm glad we got in a lot of really kind of like neat things with the Drakehound. You can easily see here why it's not seeing too much play. It's just so fragile. Like I was like, I'm done playing the games. I'm kind of curious if we would ever want to just add in the likes of the 2-cost Durandi thing, the Durandi Sculptor, as a way to just try and give it a bit of toughness, because it was just like all across the board, like Vile Feasts and like worrying about Make It Rains and worrying about Twisted Fates. We didn't play against any of the Freylord decks, but they all have the go wide AoEs. We hit a Withering Whale today. Like it's just there's so many ways to deal with like the fragility coming out of these things. That's realistically why the Drakehound doesn't see too much play. It's just so easy to pop a unit for one. But when it gets going, it really gets going. I'm curious how that last game would have gone had they not Coral Creatured into Parlay, and then they would have had to have spent a real removal spell trying to go after the Broadhound. We did have quite a few ways to get multiple attacks in with it, but again, it's just like I'm not going to go back and look, but I would say out of like the 8 games that we played, it feels like in at least like 5 of them, we ran into some kind of way to deal a single point of damage. But it does work kind of nicely in a deck like this. We aren't all in on the Broadhound or on the Drakehound. We aren't playing a bunch of shitty cards just as a means to make the Drakehound work. We do have this nice collection of the cycle of free attacks and the overwhelms and the kind of go tall Riven strategy and like getting the kind of Fizz Riven merged together with a Yuumi Pantheon style strategies, as to where it's not so much that we're out here just maximizing the Drakehound, it's that we're maximizing maximizing overwhelms, if you will. I think that's kind of the kind of better way to look at this, as opposed to saying, well, we're just playing an obedient Drakehound deck. I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like we're playing like a Might deck or an Overwhelm deck, and this is just another way to come out and take advantage of those overwhelms. Because, I mean, it can be pretty strong with the Drakehound. Like, we didn't do it here where you would say just like Might a Drakehound and attack with it a few times, but it's a very challenging thing for your opponent to deal with. And so, interesting stuff. I don't think that this is going to be like a big ladder monster, but if we ever, find ourselves in a pretty like uninteractive meta, then this is something that could be pretty strong. Or if we find ourselves where like opponents are just kind of like too slow, like depending on the removal suite that they're bringing. If you're not looking to bring a bunch of like Vile Feast kind of cards and your removal suite is like more vengeance heavy, then you might certainly have something along those terms. But nonetheless, that's going to do it for us today. I hope you all enjoyed the video. You made your Drakehounds a little more obedient, maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.